So in today's session, I'll be talking about the marketing management for startups. So I'll be talking about the strategies to grow your business from the ground up approach. So I'll be talking about how well we can use the marketing management concept in building a successful startup. Now, first of all, let us talk about why marketing matters for a startup. When we're talking about the marketing, I hope like all of you will agree that marketing has its own role in making any entrepreneurial startup to a success. So we have seen in various aspects, I can take certain examples wherein we can see they have done very good marketing and they are right now at the top. And then we can talk about various other companies which were doing very good at one point of time, but right now they are not doing good and they vanished over the period of time. Now, when we are talking about marketing, so we need to look into four aspects, which we call as the marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. Now, whenever we look at the aspect of marketing, we need to look into the aspect of product. We need to look into the aspect of price. We need to look into the aspect of promotion, and likewise. So, for every business scenario, it is very important that we do very good marketing. Now, what exactly marketing is? So it is much more than selling. Selling is basically part of marketing, you can say. So, as rightly said by various scholars, they say that the moment when your selling become superfluous, we call that as marketing. So if you basically do some kind of efforts with the help of which you are able to sell your products without making significant, you can say, efforts, we call that as marketing. So in today's scenario, we can talk about the companies like Apple, or we can talk about the companies like Nike. We can talk about the companies maybe in India. We can talk about like Tata. We can talk about Maruti. All these companies, or we can talk about Amul. So these are the companies which basically have done wonders in making their products sellable. So marketing is very important. Now, if we just look at the aspect from the problem or the challenges which are faced by the startups, there is where marketing comes into the picture. So we can take the example of various startups. I hope you all know about it. Let us take the example of, say, Ola, or we can take the example of Zomato, or we can take the example of Zepto. All these startups, they basically had very unique idea, and with the help of proper marketing, they could make their startup a successful entrepreneur. And we can also take the example of other startups we can talk about Physics Wala. Now, what is so great about Physics Wala? Can anybody you can say tell me what was so unique about Physics Wala? I'll be talking much about this particular company. Okay, let me first of all tell my experience. Now, let me talk about this very important startup, that is Physics Wala. It's started by Alak Pandey, and I hope all of you know about it. Now, it all started in 2020, if I am not wrong. Now, in 2020, this particular venture started, and it was basically Alak Pandey who basically started an application, and with the help of that application, he could bring various students together on a single platform. Now, what was so unique about that particular startup? Now, to answer this particular question, I tell you my story. Now, I have my kids, so they are basically right now in third semester of BTech. So they are doing their BTech from Thapar University. Now, when they were there in their 10th class, it was basically 2020, the time when Corona came. So I am living in a remote place, I don't know whether a lot of you know about it. It's in Guna, Madhya Pradesh. So Kota is a place which is near to this place particularly, because we are living in a place which is near to Rajasthan. So, like other parents, I was also thinking like I should send my kids to Kota for the preparations of JE. Now, then came Corona and everything. I hope you all know about it. Like everything stopped. So I had a very important decision to be made, like how will I'll help my kids to prepare for JE preparations. Now I have with me various options which were available. At that point of time, there was a company, still it is there, like one was Vedantu, then there was another company like Byju's, then there were certain coaching institutions from Kota, it was various prominent coaching institutions. So they were offering their courses. So I had with me various options which were available. So at that point of time, I tried to venture like what would be best for my kids. So I talked to Byju's, I talked to Vedantu, I talked to Alan, and likewise. So the first thing that was there was the fees. The fees for Byju's, the fees for Allen was approximately 70 to 80,000 per student per year. So that was first aspect. The second one was like I hope you all know about it. Like what is happening to the Byju's. Byju's is basically facing a lot of trouble. Ravi Chandran is facing a lot of trouble. At one point of time, this was the company which was doing wonders. Valuation was in billions. But what happened to this particular company? It is all about the wrong, you can say, decisions, or you can say wrong strategy which was adopted by this particular company. Now, when I talked to the people from Byju's, so there were certain managers who were basically looking after what we call as the PR, personal relationship, you can talk about, or you can say customer relationship. But more on, I found that it was quite not very comfortable, and they were basically harassing me in the sense that they were always calling me morning, evening, night, and they were calling like kindly join our program. I had two kids, so I had to spend around 70 into 2 140. But the problem was that they were only offering their product in the form of a small pad. So that was a 9-inch pad, and they said that you have to means the kid has to study in that pad only. So I said like, why it is there? You kindly give us certain other options. Like I have with me the laptop, so I can use that. So they were not very, you can say, comfortable with what I was giving them the feedback. Now, at that point of time, my kid ventured and they saw like there was one startup. It was not like a startup. He found like there was one app, or you can say one site wherein they were giving the coaching at a very nominal price that was around 3,400 and 500. Now, just look at the difference from the marketing aspect. Just look at the product. I have talked about product, price, place, and promotion. So let us first talk about the product. The product was similar. I was not very comfortable, or I was not knowing about their contents. But I felt like okay, we can take the, I can say, chance, because the fee was already a fraction of what I was going to pay for my children in Byju's, or maybe in Allen. So the price was minimal, and the product was also very good. Product was quite good, and they were offering it in a very nominal price. And the next one was that I was having liberty either to use laptop or to use desktop. So, or I can also use mobile phone. So that was the liberty which was available to me. And that basically helped me a lot to select that as one of the, you can say, product that I have to take for my kids. So ultimately, my kids joined that particular institution. So they studied there for 2 years. So they were there in the first batch of physics wala, and they were quite happy with that. And I used to see the classes which were held by the teachers of physics wala, and it was quite okay. Okay in the sense that the text, the content was quite good. They were quite sincere, and they were quite helpful. Okay, so I was talking about the company Physics Wala. So that is basically wherein comes the role of marketing. The problem with the Byju's is basically because they did a lot of acquisitions without thinking much, and they did not do their basics. So whatever was their basic product, they have not thought about it, and they went further, and they did everything which was not in align with their what I'll call their core business. So that is basically where comes the role of marketing. Now we can take also various examples with the help of which we can talk about the importance of marketing. We can talk about the companies like Nokia. We can talk about the companies like Kodak. We can talk about the companies like Hindustan Motors. Now, what went wrong with them? So I hope you all know about it. Like at one point of time, Nokia was market leader, so they were doing wonders. But later on, they were quite reluctant to hear to basically their customers. So customers were wanting double say. This is just one example. Wanting double SIM mobile phone, but the Nokia was quite reluctant in producing the mobile phone which could offer them this kind of facility. Now, very lately, this particular feature was added in their very basic feature phone X1 and X2. So they were quite late. And the same fate happened with the, you can say, the company like Kodak. So Kodak was also market leader, but they could not convert themselves from the traditional, what I'll call, analog technology to the digital technology. And then the early mover advantage was taken over by some other company which did well, and right now Kodak is also somewhere which is not very evident to other companies. So what is the takeaway? The takeaway is that marketing is the bridge between your product and your customers. Now, there are other companies which did well. The example could be Force Motors. I hope you all know about it. They has a very wonderful product with them, which is Tempo Traveler. Now, that particular product is basically the answer to various, you can say, problems which were being faced by the people who wish to travel together. So either it was bus or either it was car. So there was no product which was in between a bus and the car. So this was a very fantastic, you can say, product which was offered by the company Force. And if I ask anybody, like, can you just give me any competitor to the company in terms of this product, Tempo Traveler or the Traveler? Do you see any you can say product? I do not see anybody. So that is basically what can be done by marketing. Now you need to understand your target audience. So that is something which is very, very important. So what you need to do is you need to identify your ideal customers. So herein I want to basically give you the example of a very prominent person who started Nirma, and that was Karsanbhai Patel. So what he did, he basically started the strategy which is known as, or you can say he basically implemented the strategy of overall cost leadership. So when we are talking about overall cost leadership, it is all about like we need to look into the cost aspect, and we need to basically do something which is not been done by some other company. Now, what Karsanbhai Patel did, he tried to identify the right customers. So, who were the customers? The customers were basically the rickshaw pullers. The customers were basically the daily wage workers who were basically doing work whole day, And when they used to come to their home, they did not have a lot of time to wash their clothes with the help of soap. So, but the option which was available to them was quite high priced. I'm talking about surf. So he found that not everybody wanted to make their collar white. So what they wanted was only to make their clothes clean. So they were their real customers. So Nirma, I'm talking about the company Nirma, they tried to find out their ideal customers. So who were their ideal customers? Their ideal customers were lower middle class people, or you can say lower class people. So they never targeted high class people. So that was basically something which was being done by that those companies. Now, when we're talking about the startup, you need to identify your customers. Now, if we talk about certain successful, you can say, companies like, let's take the example of Zomato. So what Zomato did, Zomato tried to identify their customers. So who were their customers? Their customers were the people who basically wanted to have food, but they did not have either the time nor, or you can say, the means to go to the restaurants. So this particular company, Zomato, tried to bridge the gap between the service provider and the customer who wanted the product. So that was basically a kind of company who were facilitating everyone. I'm talking about the customers as well as the service provider. So that was basically what was being done by the company, what I'll call like Zomato. So you need to first try to find out your customers. So how you will do it? You will do it with the help of surveys. You will try to do it with the help of analytics. If you have certain data with you, you can apply certain statistical tools, and you can find out your you can say ideal customers, or you can go ahead doing the interviews. So interview is also one of the method with the help of which you can try to find out your target audiences, because this is something which is absolutely very important, because you need to know the people who are going to pay you. Physics wala very meticulously identified their customers, and they saw like who are their customers. So so they reached to the people who could pay them, say for example, per person around 4,000 rupees. So that is something which is very important. So we need to find out the customers, and we need to find out the people who are going to give you the money which with the help of which you can survive. And all the companies who are basically surviving or who are doing wonders are the companies who identify their real customers, and they then try to please them, and then they try to look for the feedbacks, look for the problems which are being faced by those customers, and then they constantly try to remove those problems, or try to improvise on the products that they sell to those customers. So that is something which is absolutely very important. So you need to understand your target audience. So that is something which is absolutely very important. Now you need to set yourself apart from your competitor. Now you need to do the competition analysis, or you can say competitor analysis. So what you need to do is you need to set yourself apart from the companies who are offering similar kind of products. Now, how you can do that? You can do that with the help of the concepts like unique value proposition, and sometimes we also take one more term, that is unique selling proposition. So you need to find out your unique value proposition for your particular product. Now, what is value? If we just try to look at the value, value is basically a comparison between the perceived benefit and the perceived cost. Now, if I see the perceived benefit higher than the perceived cost, I see that the product is valuable to me. And if I see that the perceived cost is higher than the perceived benefit, I see the product as not giving value to me. So that is something which need to be done. So it's all about you can say improvising your value proposition. What kind of value you are giving to the customers? Even before actually buying the product, every customer try to assess yourself on the aspect of perceived quality. Now, when we're talking about perceived value, it's all about what the customer feel about your product. So what value you are giving to that particular customer, that is something which is very important. Now you need to keep yourself apart from your competitor in terms of the value that you give to the customer. Let's take the example of dining experience. Now you might have seen various restaurants, various hotels who try to keep themselves apart from their competitor in terms of their aesthetics, in terms of their you can say overall setup of their hotel, the type of quality that they are giving in terms of the food and in terms of the services. So all those things are done so that they somehow differentiate themselves from their competitors. So that is something which is also being done by the companies. So first of all, you need to frame unique value proposition to your customers. So that is very important, and it is absolutely important from the start for the startups, because right now, if you're talking about a startup, you need to tell to the customers that this is something which is different than the company who might be giving you something earlier. So that is also something which is absolutely very, very important. So you need to form your unique value proposition, and after that you need to also come up with a unique selling proposition. Now how you are going to sell your particular product in an innovative way, you need to also tell to the customers that this is something which is different than others. Now, there could be a small exercise, maybe you can do it later on, like you can write one sentence for unique value proposition for your business, or you can talk about any business, or you can think of a new startup that you might think about. Maybe you're going to start new organization or new product or service providing company. So you can think about how to write a unique value proposition for my company so that I remain different than the competitors which are there which are there in the same field. So that is something which need to be done. Now there need to be smart goals for marketing. So marketing means, I hope you all know about it, like smart goals should be there. The goal should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be achievable, they should be relevant, and they should be time bound. Now, this is absolutely something which is very important. The goals that we set for marketing should be specific. So they should not be very generic or very general. So they should be specific, they should be measurable. So it's very important when we're talking about marketing, we need to find out the impact of marketing. Now, how that can be done? That can be done with the help of measuring the sales. Say, for example, so I am spending, say, for example, 10 lakhs rupee a month, or maybe say 1 crores of rupee, so say for 3 months, a quarter. Then I should be able to find out the impact of that money. In 3 months, I am spending, say, for example, 1 crores of rupee. Whether I am able to increase my sales because of that marketing effort. So measurable means I should be able to measure the effectiveness of my marketing program. So if I'm unable to do that, it's very difficult for us to understand the impact of marketing. So the goals that are being set for the marketing should be measurable. Then it should be achievable. This is something which is also quite obvious when we're talking about achievable. It is like whatever we set our goals, it should be achievable. Suppose we plan that we achieve 30% of the increase in sales in next 2 quarters. Whether I am able to achieve that particular goal, so I should know about my limits. So I should not you can say frame any goal which cannot be achieved. So the goals of marketing should be achievable, and it should also be relevant. So the goals which I set for marketing should be relevant to what I am going to do. So relevance is very important. Whatever I am going to do should be relevant to the ultimate objective or ultimate goal what I want to achieve. And obviously, very importantly, it should be time bound. So whatever we do should be time bound. So if I say like I am going to do an advertisement campaign for my product, it should be time bound. So I am going to do it for 3 months or for 6 months or for 1 year. It should be very well clear. So our goals for marketing should be specific. It should be measurable. It should be achievable. It should be relevant, and it should be time bound. And then there are a number of examples wherein we can talk about these kinds of things. I have already talked about the companies like Physics Wala. We can talk about the companies like the companies who could not do it, like Hindustan Motors. It was doing very fine at one point of time. After 80s, when Maruti came, that company could not change their attitude, could not change their strategy, and right now we all know like. That particular company who could produce very iconic product like Hindustan Motors Ambassador right now is not doing great, and it's not there. And other example could be, say, for example, HMV. Right now, we do not hear that particular name. And at one point of time, it was T series. Now, T series tried to change their format. Earlier, they were there in the manufacturing of the cassettes. Right now, they are there in the digital arena. Digital contents they are developing or they are making. That could not be done by HMV. So whatever we do should be relevant for a particular, you can say, environment. So we should be quite ready to accept the change and the change which are occurring in the environment. I have already talked about a company like Kodak. So Kodak could not change its, you can say, its marketing, and in terms they could not quite do the justice with their product. The product was quite very old-fashioned, and they could not convert their analog cameras to the digital camera. So that was also one of the problem which was faced by that particular company or organization. So all the successful companies are the companies which do these kinds of things. Their goals are specific, they are measurable, they are achievable, they are relevant, and they are time bound. So all these 5 points are very important from the marketing point of view. So every company which is basically going to venture into the startup need to look into these 5 important points. Now, how to reach to your customers? So you can reach to your customers through online mode, through offline mode, and you can also look for the multi-channel marketing strategies for startups. Now, I need not tell much about the online mode because all of us know about it. Like right now, social media is very important medium through which the companies do the marketing, because we spend a lot of our time in social media. Social media include Facebook, it include Twitter, right now it's X, it include WhatsApp, it include other social media platforms. So we spend a lot of our time in those social media, and that is a very prominent place wherein the company can do advertisement or they can do their marketing, and that is what has been done by the companies right now. So you'll see a lot of marketing which has been done in social media. Then other is email marketing. Although this is not very prominent right now, but still the companies are looking for it. Then we have search engine optimization. We call in short form we call that as SEO, search engine optimization. Then content marketing. Now, when we're talking about the search engine optimization, it's all about keeping your company's name or company's website on the top of the search, you can say, query, or whenever you type something on the query box of Google, say for example, your effort so that your company's name come on the top or in the top one or two, or at least come in the first page. So that is basically the concept of SEO. So there are various ways with the help of which you can enhance your presence in the results of search, you can say, search engines like Google. So this is something which is also being done by a lot of companies. So the companies are basically doing great in this particular aspect, because if, say for example, somebody is searching, I am a company who is basically into the online education, and if somebody is looking for or trading for online education, if my result is coming in the fourth page or in the fifth page, who is going to visit fifth page? Nobody, because generally we tend to either see the first page or maybe second page and then maybe third page. So we finish our search within first two pages of the results. So the company then tried to come at the top. So there are two ways. One is like organic search, wherein you come by default, or then there is another option that is basically sponsorship, or you can say sponsored links. For a sponsored link, you need to pay more to the Google. So in either way, the company should try to come to the top, and that is something which need to be done. Now, another very important aspect is the content marketing. So whatever type of content you are having, you need to make your content in such a way that you can market your contents, or you can have the contents with the help of which you can say come at the top of the search query. So content is also very important, and right now one very basic you can say problem is that the companies do not have a lot of contents with them. So this is another problem which has been faced by the companies or organization. Then you have other means through which you can reach to the customers. Those are offline, you can say mode. It could be events, it could be networking, it could be partnership, and likewise. So you can participate in certain events, the events which are being done by various organizations. You can physically go there and you can meet the participant and you can tell them about your products, and this is one way through which you can connect to the customers. Then another could be networking, offline networking, wherein you try to connect with other like-minded people, and then you try to look for the products, wherein look for the companies or the customers through which you can make network, and you can tell more about your companies and your product. Then you can also go for the partnership. A strategic partnership can be done. Suppose I am into a particular domain of my I can say product or service, then I can partner with any other company who are related to my product, so that we can have mutual you can say understanding, and we do the marketing together, so that both of us or both the parties benefit through their combined efforts. So you can either reach your customer online, or you can reach the customers offline. Then there could be multi-channel marketing strategies for startups. You can also go for the multi-channel means you can go for the online mode, you can go for the offline mode, or you can go for the mixed mode, wherein some part is online, some part is offline. So that is also one way through which you can reach your customer. Reaching the customer is very important. So you should be known to the customer. If I am producing something, if I am basically making some kind of product, I should reach the ultimate customer who can give me the money for my particular product. So that is something which is absolutely very, very important. So this is basically very important. So I should be able to reach my customer. Now you also need to build up your brand identity. Now, building up the brand identity is absolutely very important. How will you make your brand known to others? You need to make your brand personality, first of all. Then your brand should have some kind of identity which is evident to other person or the people who can identify you as different from other brands which might be available in that particular domain. So that is something which you need to do. So this can be done with the help of all the branding strategies, all the branding exercises which have been done by the companies. So although this particular Branding is a very broad topic. It includes like how well I can make a particular brand. I hope you'll agree that brand is something which differentiate a product of a particular company from others. Now, if I wish to buy a particular, say, for example, suit length, or I wish to buy a kurta pajama, I can buy it, and I am interested to buy a cotton, you can say, kurta pajama. Now, I can either buy a kurta pajama from a Lucknow chicken some shop, wherein I can get that particular product in 5 or 6 thousand rupees, or I can buy a product from, say, for example, brand Armani. Now, if I buy Armani suit length or kurta pajama, it may cost me around 60, 70,000 or 1 lakh rupees. Now, why I am giving the company Armani for a particular product 1 lakh rupee, wherein I can buy a particular product for 6 or 7 thousand rupees? Why I'll buy that particular Armani suit length? And can I show my tag of my suit length or the kurta pajama to others that I am wearing a 1 lakh kurta pajama in, say, for example, a marriage function? So this is something which is basically the wonder of brand. Now I am happily, you can say, shelling out my 1 lakh of rupee to own a particular brand. Now, this is also very true with the product like Apple. If I am having Apple phone, owning Apple is basically some kind of, you can say, emotional. You can say this purchase or this owing give me some kind of emotional satisfaction that I am above others. And how Apple do this kind of branding? I hope you might have heard of this particular advertisement wherein the Apple company say that either you are buying an iPhone or you are buying any other phone. So what is the meaning of this particular advertisement? This particular advertisement was being done by this company Apple long back. You can see this maybe in the YouTube. But what the company want to say, what with this particular statement? Either you are buying an iPhone or you are buying any other phone. So what the company is trying to say? The company is trying to say that their product is different than others. So that is basically something which has been done by this particular company. Okay, that is something which is done by this particular company. What I call Apple. So what Apple do is that Apple basically try to differentiate itself with others. So that is basically being done with the help of logo, with the help of tagline, with the help of branding, with the help of advertisement, and likewise. So there, with the help of brand, what you do is you try to build up a emotional connection with the audience. So you try to associate yourself with the audiences. So with the help of your branding, you try to connect to the customers emotionally. As I said that if I own iPhone, I am emotionally connected with the company iPhone, and I feel privileged to have the product through which I feel myself different than other person who might be having other kind of phone. So branding is very important for any startup. So you need to build up your brand, you need to develop your brand, because this is something which is very important. Now, in today's world, we can leverage various online platforms. We can use the various online platforms which are available, and we can make various social media strategies. We can look for the basics of search engine optimization and content marketing. There, as I said earlier, that there are various paid ads, and their ROI for startups can be looked into. ROI is a very important concept which talks about like what is the return on investment, how much money I'm investing in a particular a particular you can say a strategy or particular you can say marketing expense, and what is the return that I am getting. So if I spend, say for example, previously I said like in a quarter, if I invest say 1 crore of rupees, like what I am getting as a result. So am I able to increase my sales from say for example 5% to 10%? So with the help of the investments, can I increase my sales for 5%? So that would be my return on investment. So I need to look for my return on investment. There are various investment wherein I can get the ROI in a short period of time. Then there are a lot of investments wherein I get the ROI quite later. So it take time. So like if I'm going to develop my brand, it takes a lot of time. And when we are talking about the development of the brand, so I will definitely not get the return in 1 year or 2 years. It will take a lot of time to establish my brand, and then I get the ROI. So when we're talking about ROI, it's very important to understand that you need to very well judiciously decide the time frame, and accordingly you can think about the ROI, because that is something very very important. So you can leverage on the online platforms which are available right now. You can go ahead with the social media strategies. You can do the Facebook marketing. You can basically go for other social medias, and you can do your marketing there. So you should know about the SEO. So it's very important for any entrepreneur or the person who is basically into the startup to look to know the basics of search engine optimization, because mostly the people try to discover you with the help of online you can say search query. So that is something which need to be done by any person who is into the search who is into the startup or doing some kind of entrepreneurial activity. Now you can also go ahead with the connecting your audiences through blogs, through videos, and through infographics. So you can do that with the help of advertisement. You can also develop some kind of blogs, and you can also post certain videos wherein you can basically go ahead with doing those kinds of things. Then there might be difference between two kinds of contents. One is educational content, and second one is promotional content. Educational contents are the contents which are basically meant for increasing the awareness of the people without any you can say thinking about any return in the short run. When we're talking about promotional content, so these are the contents which are basically meant for promoting the products or their information of the company to the common customers or common people. So either I can develop some contents which are meant for educating the customer, or I can develop the contents which are directly related to my product or something which I am going to do. So these are the two different type of strategies which can be done. So when we're talking about educational contents, then I can educate the people. Like say, for example, if you're talking about one of the very important person whom I consider as a big marketer, that is Baba Ramdev, and the company that he basically uh, promote is Patanjali. So he basically do a lot of educational kind of you can say programs and videos, but it ultimately help Patanjali. So therein he does not talk about Patanjali, but ultimately the benefit goes to the company Patanjali, because he tried to develop the awareness about the Ayurveda to the common people, and that basically help the customers to believe on Ayurvedic products that ultimately help the company Patanjali. So that is something which can be done. Now you can also look at the contents for multiple platforms. So you can use the content for multiple platforms. You can use the content for maybe social media, for maybe promotional, you can say programs. You can use the same content for the educational programs. So you need to pick up the things very judiciously. Now, there are other things which can be done by the companies, like you can look for the low cost, high impact tactics. So these could be guerrilla marketing. When we're talking about guerrilla marketing, these are the strategies which are being done by the companies, wherein the company try to target the big companies which are there in a particular domain. So what they try to do is they try to come up with certain offers which basically are different from the big marketers, and they try to serve the customers a lot of things which are not being offered by the companies which are established companies. So they do this in a better way, and they do that in a much you can say impactful way. And they sometimes they also harness the established companies through their marketing strategies. So you can do also partnerships and collaborations with other companies, and you can collaborate with other companies, and you can do partnership. With the help of that, you can go look for the low cost you can say strategies, because you are partnering and collaborating with other firms. So this significantly reduce your overall cost, and it basically improve the you can say uh, improve the uh, overall effectiveness of any marketing program for a particular company. Then you can also leverage on the user generated contents. Now, when we're talking about user generated contents, these are the contents which basically are generated by the user. If I am a company and I have certain products with me, there are certain customers who are using my products, and they are maybe on online medium. They are offering certain products, certain reviews about my particular product. I can use those reviews, and I can highlight those reviews so that I can tell other customers that these are the you can say genuine feedback of the you can say customers who are using my particular product. So this is also something which can be done by you can say the companies. So I can leverage on the user generated contents. Now there are various key matrices for startups. The first one is customer acquisition cost. Now, what is customer acquisition cost? Customer acquisition cost is the cost which is incurred to acquire a particular customer. There is another term which is customer retention cost. Now, when we're talking about customer retention cost, that is the cost which I incur to retain a particular customer. Now, first is customer acquisition, the cost which I incur to acquire a customer. So if I do not have any customer, and if I wish to get a particular customer, then I basically incur certain cost, and that is the cost that we call as the customer acquisition cost. And then after getting the customer, I need to retain that customer also. So what I'll try to do is I will try to retain that customer, and the cost that is incurred to retain a customer is known as customer retention cost. And the customer retention cost is much lower than the customer acquisition cost. So with the help of CRM, that is customer relationship management, or you can say relationship management, I can retain a customer over a long period of time, and that will be an asset for the company or organization, because right now we are living in an age wherein a lot of competition is there, and the customer tend to switch. So switching behavior is quite common in today's scenario. The switching behavior is wherein the customer try to switch from one company to other company. And if I am getting some good offer from some other good company, then I will not hesitate to switch from one company to other company. So how to retain that? So that can be done with the help of proper customer relationship management. And for that, I need to invest and I need to, you can say, invest certain money for that. So that is basically customer retention cost. So customer acquisition cost is one matrix that is basically very important for any startup. How much money you are spending to get one customer. So that is customer acquisition cost. That is something which is very important. And when you basically go ahead with putting the startup proposals to the venture capitalist or maybe angel investors, this number is lot of time being asked by the you can say VCs and angel investors. So they ask the companies like, what is your customer acquisition cost? Means the cost that you are thinking you will incur to get one customer. Then other things are like conversion rates and lifetime value. So there is a concept in marketing which we call as the customer lifetime value. This is basically the overall value in terms of the future cash inflows that a particular customer give over the period of time till the customer is with the company. Now this is the total sum of all the future, you can say, business that a particular customer is going to give to the company over a particular period of time. So this is basically customer lifetime value. So the value of a particular customer till the time he or she is associated with a particular company is basically the lifetime value of that particular customer. So this is also very important for a particular startup company. You also need to find out the CLV for your company, like how much you expect that a customer is going to give you over the period of time till the customer is loyal to you. So herein, what is the takeaway? Takeaway is the loyalty, customer loyalty. So customer loyalty is something which is absolutely very important, and you basically try to get the loyalty of your customers through proper customer relationship management and likewise. So this is also very important matrix with the help of which you can get funding from venture capitalists, or you can say angel investors, or you can get the funding from normal investors. So these matrices are very important for the startups. Now you also need to look for other strategies like iterating your strategies. Importance of listening to the customer feedback. It's very important that you get the feedback uh, of your customers because that is something which is very important. You need to look for the feedback that has been given by the companies. So you should try to get the proper feedback from your customers, and if there are certain problems you should try to rectify them and you should try to please them. This is absolutely very important. Then there are various other you can say methods like A/B testing, or we also call that as split testing, wherein we try to give two versions of our product to the customers and try to ask them that which version is better. When we you can say use chat GTP in various scenarios of the situation, chat GTP gave two solutions and they asked the user to rate which is better. So this is A/B testing, wherein we give an option to the customer and the customer then try to give the feedback of the version that the customer like most. So this kind of testing should be there, and then you can do experimentation. In the experimentation you do certain experiments, and with the help of experimentation you try to know like what good you can do to the customer so that they like that particular products. Then there could be various examples of the startups that basically do various strategies which make them successful. So there are a number of examples, Zomato, then Zepto, and we can talk about yeah, Swiggy. Then we can talk about Blinkit. So what Blinkit has done? Blinkit has basically tried to give the solution to the customers who basically want a particular product within a very short period of time. say for example I am eating my food and I realize that I do not have the ketchup. So I need that ketchup, or you can say, or any other that kind of food item within, say, for example, 10 minutes. So here comes the solution. So you can do Blinkit, or you can go to the Blinkit, and the product will be delivered to you within 10 minutes. So that kind of innovative, you can say, products basically help a particular company to improvise their offering, and that is how you can basically improve your product strategy. So that is also something which you need to do. So there are various marketing mistakes that startup makes. The first one is neglecting customer research. So various marketing startups do not do proper customer research, and they do not look for the real, you can say, aspirations and expectations of the customers, and therein they basically fail. So you should basically try to get do proper marketing research, wherein you try to search the customer and you try to look like what exactly they basically need. So that is the first mistake which is made by the, you can say, companies. Then there could be spreading too thin across channels, like the type of presence that is expected from you across channels is too thin, too thin. Matlab, you're not trying to spread about your company, your products to the customers in a proper way. So you are trying to convey something, and the customers are getting something else. So you want to say X, and the customer is getting X minus, say, for example, Y. So that is basically what we meant here by this particular, you can say, a point. Then there could be the example of ignoring data-driven insights. Right now, we are in an age wherein a lot of insights can we can get it from the data. So we should not try to overlook the data-driven insights. So we should try to get maximum insight with the help of data. The data which is available maybe in a secondary form, or we should try to get the primary data, and then we should try to do the things. Then like there could be various startup success strategies. I have already talked about Physics Wala. Now Physics Wala use social media to scale. uh, Physics Wala has become a unicorn, and I hope you all know about the kind of strategy that this particular company is basically doing. So we can take the example of Zomato, we can take the example of Ola. Ola prominently do not possess cars, but they are basically mediating company, or you can say the platform company, which are basically connecting the customers with the service provider. So there are a number of successful success stories with the help of which we can understand like what the customers, the companies should do, so that they can get a good, you can say, feedback about the products that they are going to give it to the customers. So that is basically something which should be done by the companies at large. So now when we're talking about the you can say whole summary of whatever I have said, then it can be said that we need to very well think about the marketing strategies, and we can look at the you can say aspects wherein we can apply marketing strategies, so that we can make the startup a successful startup. And then we should try to look into the aspects of you can say making real contribution in terms of the value that we are going to give it to the end customer. So it's all about the value that matters, nothing else. So if I as a customer feel that I am getting some kind of value from your offering, I will you can say buy your product. Otherwise I'll not buy your product. And you need to also look into the aspect of wise and purposeful marketing actions that are basically important in making you a success. What happened to Big Bazaar, and what is happening to DMart? So you can take the example of these two company. Big Bazaar, I hope you all know, like it has been taken over by other company, Reliance, and DMart is doing well, and Damani is getting a lot of you can say return on investment. So you need to focus on your core product, and you need to focus on your other aspects so that you do well in the overall context. So marketing is very important. I have given you the example of certain companies like branding, Armani. I have given you the example of Physics Wala. I have given you the example of Kodak. I have given you the example of Nokia. Then there could be the example of, so these are the companies who basically did not do well, and they over the period of time they vanished. And then there are other companies like Force Motors who did well. Then we have Amul. Then we have Maruti. Then we have Tata. Then we have Mahindra. So Tata from you can say, if you take the example of Tata Motors, they at one point of time making the trucks, but right now they are into the development and production of various other products which are meant for the common people. So this is what is being done by the companies. So the same thing was being done by Mahindra. Mahindra in earlier days was making the products which was meant for commendation. Mahindra Jeeps were there. Commander Jeep, I hope some of you might have heard of that particular name. Right now, they're into the production of the cars which are meant for the personal use. So they are making various models which are quite liked by the people, and the company is doing great. So in the nutshell, we can say that marketing is very important for anybody, especially for the companies who are into the startup and who are there in the, you can say, entrepreneurial, you can say, activities. So marketing is very important, and we should take care of the marketing very well. When we're talking about marketing, marketing is essence of everything, whatever we are doing. So it's very important for us to look into the aspect of marketing. So that is something which is very, very important.